This video is about the wealth mindset shift you need to hit $3,000 a month, even if you're starting from zero. Hey guys, Michael here. If you don't know who I am, I've built a 7-figure passive income business in payment processing, starting from scratch and mastering what works along the way. With 15 years of experience, I'm here to help you create your own path to financial freedom, faster and smarter. The reason you need to have a mind shift and mindset before generating wealth is because you have to believe in it in your mind first. Having like a growth mindset first and foremost. Otherwise, you're not believing in yourself. The good old saying, if there's a will, there's a way. When you put that into perspective, and you think about that and you believe in that and you're almost like creating that in your brain, then you can do it in real life. Sometimes I'll be in the car and I'm reading books, I'm listening to an audible, or I read a very powerful quote that really resonates with me because it pushes me, gives me goosebumps, it gives me that drive. And it started all from reading a little paragraph or a little sentence or listening to audible. And that power really goes down your whole all your bones and your muscles and your mind, and you're just ready to do it because first you manifest it in your brain, then you take action. When I started credit card processing in the beginning, I didn't do well at all. I said to myself, I need to try this out and see if it really works before I dive into it. And I went out, I parked my car in a downtown area, and I had no business cards, I had no flyers, I had nothing. Literally nothing. It was just me, myself, and I didn't know much about the credit card processing industry, but I did have a little bit of a background in sales, so I had that confidence going. Again, I built it up in my head. I said to myself, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this multiple times. I went business to business, knocking on doors. And in fact, I did so bad, every single business owner in that downtown area said no to me. One of them, in fact, said, I would hate your job. It's very different going door to door setting of when you're going house to house and selling, let's say, newspaper or cookies or whatever it is. It's different in business. Business has a little bit more respect. They respect you a little bit more. They're not as rude because you're not invading their privacy. You are, but you're not as if you were going to someone's home. So even though I did have that, a lot of rejection, a lot of failure, I almost gave up. I almost said to myself, this maybe isn't for me. But I stood there, I called my wife, I called her and talked to her about it. And I started thinking, if others can do it, I can do it. And I can do it better. Because if I can outlast anyone and I can outwork anyone, I'm able to do it with no problem. Then what I did was I went back out. I ended up closing 2 places in that downtown area with zero experience, with no business card, no flyer, nothing. I was able to do it. And that all is thanks to my mindset, because I could have easily said, I'm just going to give up. I'm worthless. I am nobody, but I was able to go through with it because I believed in myself. I manifested that I'm going to close a deal. I manifested that I'm going to get my ass out there and do what I need to do to be able to do this. I know the saying, be hungry. To me, that's an understatement. Be starving. I was able to get comfortable being uncomfortable because I knew that I had to do this. It was either this or go back to my 9 to 5. I did great. I did very well for myself on that, but I kept on hitting the ceiling. I had to get comfortable being uncomfortable because that was the only way out and for me to do it. I didn't want to be the person to go from job to job to job to job, because if you do that, you're just not going to be anyone. That's literally what you're going to be. And we all know the saying, you can be good at something or you can be a master of none. I would rather be a master of one and really hone into it, because that is, to me, that is very important. And I couldn't give up because I had my family in line. I was newly married about 2 years, 1 year into the marriage, and I started this company. And I had to, it was like no looking back. I needed to do this. Whether I fail or succeed, it was something I had to do no matter what. A lot of things have evolved in terms of how I see things when you become uncomfortable doing things. You have to get out of your comfort zone in order for you to be able to go further in life. Otherwise, you'll just get stuck at what you've been doing. You gotta have that mind shift and mindset to get uncomfortable. That's the first thing. So that's why it's so big. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, because as soon as you have that mind shift, you're going to realize there is nothing, absolutely nothing that's going to stop you. I think when you give someone something, it's a form of satisfaction. My dad, for instance, he was giving his whole life. He was a teacher and he loves it. I never understood, and it didn't never click to me until now how proud he is every time he talks about his students. It's a different level of respect. And when someone gives away that time to another individual, yes, it was school, yes, it was whatever, but you're building a different connection because you're not there asking someone for something. You're just there giving. And when you're giving, the trust barrier is gone. The relationship gets stronger. A lot of things almost automagically happens. I love the word automagically because it's perfect. So it really just happens right there and then without you putting so much effort into it. And if you're the type of person that teaches, love teaching and giving, great, perfect for you, because this is a great type of satisfaction that you feel when you give someone. And better yet, when that person succeeds, you can see it and be like, wow, I was part of that journey. I was part of that person's influence. And that to me is really, really important. I would say one way you can start practicing generosity is, very wise man once told me, it's free to be kind and it's free to be an a-hole. Both of them are free. You choose your destiny. So if you want to be kind, which will make wonders in your life because nobody's going to hate kind people, you can start off by doing something that you're not used to. And that could be standing in line at a coffee shop and paying for somebody behind you. You can start a trend like that. And it's crazy because it's literally, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm talking about it right now, because you may not have changed that person's life, but it's such a kind gesture that that person will be like, wow, that's very nice. And again, it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be materialistic. If you're giving your time, if you're, let's say you're volunteering, you're helping the church, you're going to a soup kitchen, what you're doing is you're giving without asking anything in return. You're just giving. Because we live in this world, everybody does things if they're expecting something in return. And if you have that mindset, it's not going to work. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. The way it will work is if you truly, truly are doing this from the bottom of your heart. Yes, something will come from it or may not. But if you do it from the bottom of your heart, it's going to change that whole picture and it just looks different. People will feel it different. In order for you to make a difference in your life, period, whether that's starting, you want to make $3,000 a month in a given industry. If you want to save up for a XYZ, again, start with your mind shift first and foremost, and you got to take action. Now, mind shift is one aspect of it. It's one of the most important aspects of it. But an idea without execution is just an idea. Both of those going together, when you execute, when you take action, that's when you're going to see the difference. Don't talk about going out and biking. Don't read books about going out biking. You could do that. That's great. But once you get on the bike, trying to learn how to bike, you're going to fall. You're going to do a lot of things that will happen throughout that journey. But if you stick around, you are going to learn how to bike. And what started it all is you took that action. You took that action. Let's say you hate your 9-to-5. Let's say you're not happy at your job or your business is not generating enough income. A lot of people just go home and let that stress just brew in their head. And every day it gets worse and worse and worse. But guess what? They're not doing something that is the most important thing. It's taking action. You want to build a business and you want to create a business or start a business, you got to take action. There's so much out there. It's never been easier to make money in this world than today. The importance of delayed gratification and wealth building is as simple as Rome wasn't built in a damn day. You might see a lot of videos because social media now obviously is so big and is in the palms of your hands, and you're just swiping and you're seeing this, I made this much and this long, and I made this, and you can make it like overnight success. Look at all the billionaires. Look at all the richest people. It took time to build their wealth, to build their empires. You don't go from step one to the final step when you go up the stairs. It just doesn't happen. It's the same thing in business. You build a good foundation and you start your business. And even if you don't have the best foundation, you'll learn, figure it out. Even if it falls, crashes on you. You don't hear the most successful people have these amazing journeys in their life. I can't think of one individual, one business owner that said, oh my gosh, my life was perfect. My life was, there have been no failures. Everything I touched turned into gold. No such thing. The biggest and the best success stories come from failure. The people that have failed, gotten up, shook it off, and moved on, learned from those. The other people, they don't exist. They don't exist. That is why it's important to understand it takes time to build wealth. And if you have the mindset of, I want to fast forward wealth, it ain't going to happen. I mean, listen, you might get lucky. I'm not saying never. I'll never say never, but the chances are very slim. So don't focus on the outliers. Focus on the things that you are capable of doing. And if that happens, if that speed, the wealth speed comes, great. That's the cherry on top. But don't strive for it. Don't go for it. Consider your mind in your head that Rome wasn't built in a day. And look at Rome, it's still standing. If you're not patient, that can ruin your business. Your energy really matters when it comes to business and succeeding. Because if your energy is bad, then the outcome is gonna be bad. So you have to stay focused and believing in yourself. I'll always go back to mind shift and mindset because it's so big and I lose it. I'm talking every day because I'll be on a treadmill and I'm watching a motivational video, or I'll watch some kind of training, or listen to Audible. You know what? Why? The reason I do that is because it's going to motivate me for the day. It's going to push me. Sometimes I just want to get the hell out of that gym just to start because I'm so like pumped. And that's the reason, you need to be patient with it, because if you follow the North Star, you eventually will reach it. You'll be successful and all of that stuff, but don't bounce around. And I'm not saying you need to be a patient person. I'm not patient, but you have to have that mindset shift. You have to believe in yourself. Don't you think I have many times thought of and said to myself, oh man, what am I doing? What if it all fails? Why negative? Why think the negative? Of course, anything can fail. Anything can fall down and crash, anything. But if you think that way, again, you're training your mindset to believe that you're going to fail. You need to think, how am I going to do this? The connection between how money is viewed versus how much they make, it's different for everyone, obviously. In my opinion, at least, and this is by no means financial advice, you have to look at money as annual return rate soldiers. If you're making money, you made $1, are you gonna just keep it and spend it because that dollar means nothing then at the end of the day? Or are you gonna take it and reinvest it and be able to build wealth? Because if you're just becoming rich, you're not becoming wealthy. Two big different things. How I see wealth is if you can sit down and enjoy life, you're not having to worry about making money because you're not putting in your time to earn dollars. You are having dollars work for you. And that's how wealth is created. Let's say you went on a fishing trip for a week. The majority of us, we stop getting paid right there. The moment we leave, we start getting paid because we're working hourly or we have a salary. Obviously, I'm not including we have vacation time and all of that stuff. But in reality, that vacation time, you can come back and be fired from your job. Regardless, there's no security there. There's no security in terms of like going for a 1-week fishing trip and then come back and you're still making money. But a wealthy person will enjoy weeks of fishing trips and not having to worry about, will they come back? Either, will I still have a job? I wasn't getting paid while I was out. Do I have vacation time? All of that stuff goes into mind, then that's not wealth. And wealthy doesn't mean that you have a shitload of money. It's when you can replace your time, because the most valuable thing in your life is time. That's something you cannot replace. Anyone that has like reached the pinnacle of success in terms of money is no longer their thought process of anything they do. It's time. It's their time, because now they want to spend it with their family, with their kids, with their wife. That is what they value. So when they are evaluating something, they don't think of money. They think of how much time is this going to take of my daily life. Those people have reached wealth, because if they're thinking of the time, not the money aspect, that's where it's at. My wife and I, we went on a trip to Europe, and I'm very used to working 8 to 8. I'm exchanging my time for money. My mind shift happened when I was able to go on a vacation and not work and still come back and made more money than before I left, and without moving a muscle. My first aha moment was when I got my $10.83. And you may think that's nothing, and you're right, it is nothing. But to make $10.83, that's when it clicked to me. And I said, okay, if I spent this amount of time doing this, that $10.83 is going to come to me every single month. The whole idea behind this is that I made $10.83, and that changed my mind. If I didn't have a growth mindset, I would be like, what the hell is $10.83? I'm going to give up. I turned it around. I said $10.83, game on. Like, this is it. You better watch out, because I'm coming. That is the mindset I had. So when I traveled and I was able to make money when I came back and my residual check was still coming, it was just crazy to me, because now I can make money while I am sleeping. It sat very well with me, but it didn't sit well with me at the same time, because our whole life we've been taught, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably isn't. And this was that moment. I doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on that. So if you're out there and you are either struggling in a 9-to-5 atmosphere, you want to start your own business, you have that itch, and you do believe in yourself, or you could be a business owner that wants to make more money, side hustle, or you could be just a bookkeeper that has access to so many clients. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're interested in learning more about the credit card processing business, you can do so by just, stop watching this video, go on Google, and just start researching, just like I did. I had nothing. You could do that, and you'll find resources, and you can potentially figure it out. You could. I'm not gonna say you can't. However, if you want me, I have over 14, 15 years of experience to hold your hand through this process and help you and kind of steer you in the right direction in terms of the do's and don'ts, and help you actually achieve that through my mentorship and through my community, then just join our community. You can leave comments. I always look at my comments, and I love feedback, because that's the only way I get energy, because if I get feedback, I'm able to kind of answer those questions, and sometimes maybe even make videos like these from those questions. But first, change your mindset. Get that mindset. I hope this video has helped you change that mindset in your head to be able to start this journey. Again, whether you go on Google or join my mentorship program, it's up to you. Just be resourceful. Just take action. Take action. That's what you need to do. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you have questions or thoughts, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're interested in building real passive income through payment processing, check out the free community I've created. The link is in the description, and it's full of resources and tools to get you started today. Hope to see you on the inside.